Agriculture is about a $150 million project in Robertson County every year. That's by far our largest industry, and we have some other very fine industry that we're very proud of, but agriculture is the tail that wags the dog.
And tobacco is a big product here. It's always been a big cash crop, and Robertson County has been known for its tobacco growing. It's been a tough couple of years for tobacco farmers. The business is consolidating into larger farms, and the demand is going down in the United States. So there's still a big market there, and it's still an important part of the economy, but tobacco farmers are looking for alternative crops, and indigo is certainly a great alternative crop for our farmers.
The county had inherited an old tobacco warehouse from the Conwood Corporation. That building had been used for the better part of a century for tobacco production, and then when those jobs went away, we were concerned about the workforce and what they would do. I had no notion as to what that building would be used for, except we wanted to have some place where it could provide jobs. I think the stars lined up for us when I met Sarah. That's where I first learned about the possibility of growing indigo in Middle Tennessee. My ears perked up at that point.
Locating in this former tobacco factory was really a collaborative effort that was enabled by lots of partners, from the local economic development board to the state economic and community development agency. Today, most blue jeans are dyed from imported, non-renewable petroleum resources. Our process is completely different. We take plants, soak them in water, and have an environmentally friendly extraction process to replace that imported petroleum-based blue dye currently used for denim with an eco-friendly plant-based dye. Robertson County is predominantly an agricultural county. There are not really chemical manufacturers here, and so we took the viewpoint that we would find local labor and train them. This year we'll be tripling the number of operators at our facility.
My name's Austin Woodall. I'm a chemical operator with Stony Creek Colors. I probably know better than 50% of the farmers that are growing for us. You know, good to see a lot of the local businesses and companies benefiting from Stony Creek's growth as well. I mean, that's kind of the whole purpose why we're here.
Well, there's a lot of disruption in the fashion industry currently. Many consumers are becoming more aware of the content of their clothing, whether it's who made it or how it was made, how the fabric was developed.
Today, the World Bank estimates that 17% of industrial water pollution comes from textile dyeing and finishing.
Long-term goal obviously is to be basically water neutral, if not better, so whatever we take in, we continue to reuse and reuse.
We've been really fortunate to attract a lot of great industry partners, from J. Crew to Lucky Brand to Wrangler, Levi Strauss, companies that are really looking to have greater transparency around their supply chains.
I'm Bill Pearson, and I'm a 7th generation farmer that currently farm with my dad and uncle here in Robertson County. I heard about the company 7 or 8 years ago, but didn't know anything about it. And before that, I'd never even heard of indigo. It's very similar growing practices to tobacco, so we're able to take the practices that we do and adapt them to indigo with a lot of the same equipment.
To have something that adds to what the tobacco farmers are doing and actually complements what they're doing, it's just such a natural fit for the agricultural footprint that we have here.
We had been working on rehabbing the facility and making it up to code so that it could be used. We heard about Sarah and began talks with her to put her in that building. So she was the first tenant in what we call the Bransford Heights Business Center. The entire corridor that facility is on, it's Central Avenue, obviously a very important roadway in Springfield in the past. There were a lot of manufacturing and warehouse facilities along that corridor that had been gradually closing. There's quite a bit of public housing close by. Transportation's a barrier for them. Having these manufacturing operations within walking distance was a real boon for that. As they closed, that population had a much higher incidence of unemployment. That's why we wanted to rehab these facilities. We wanted to put jobs in close proximity to this neighborhood, and Stony Creek definitely filled the bill.
financing that we received through AMCREF for our new market tax credit project ultimately allowed us to increase the amount of equipment that allowed us to bring on more farmers and really increase the throughput through the facility.
What makes what Sarah's doing unique is the scale at which she's doing it. She's able to provide large-scale volume in a way that are commercially viable. That's the game changer.
People look at a successful model and they want to emulate it. And I think we can go back and see what Stony Creek has done with Robertson County, with the Chamber, with the Economic Development Board, and say, look, this is what we've done before. We can do it again for you. I think the proof is in the pudding, and we've got really something we can sell there.